We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to see what the energy is saying, to see what's possible for the week to come. And I mean, really anything is possible at any given time. I did such a bad shuffle to get going. Wow, I didn't realize quite how crazy my hair looks. So if I do look a little wild this morning, I apologize. It is genuinely so warm in my apartment. It's over 50 degrees outside, and they haven't turned off the radiator system in my building yet. So when I woke up, it was almost 80 degrees in the rest of my apartment, and since we keep the door to this room closed overnight, I came in here and it had to have been over 80 degrees. It was boiling. So I've just been doing my best all day to cool down, to get myself, a little more regulated, both mentally and physically. Anyway, but speaking of heat, speaking of fire, today is the lunar date of Beltane, or Beltane, the Celtic fire festival that welcomes summer. It's celebrated in the modern calendar on May 1st or May 3rd with the Caligny calendar. I am leading my Beltane spell circle on Wednesday, April 30th. So every one of these fire festivals, I do a spell circle, which is half history lesson, half group spell, where we walk through step by step a spell together. It's a great way to learn a little bit more about folk traditions and where these modern witchcraft holidays come from, and to work a spell in a supportive environment. If you're newer to spell work, or if you just kind of like doing things in a group, then it's a great way to either get started, to learn, to see what other people do, or just to use that collective energy to make your spell as big and powerful as possible. So that is this coming Wednesday, April 30th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central, 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's gonna be a blast. I love the spell circles. They're one of my favorite things that I do. So the registration link for that is in the description as always. And that means on Thursday, May 1st, my books for tarot readings will be opening once more. So they've been closed all of April. I do have a new moon newsletter coming out later today, and I said later today. Most people are seeing this on Monday, so never mind. Never mind. But also, if you decide to go subscribe to my Substack today, oh, Angus isn't here and he needs to be let out. I'm so sorry. Hold, please. Apologies. If this is your first time with me, wow, hello. Angus is my little boy cat, and he's very sweet. And sometimes he likes to hang out in here and has no problem staying in here the whole time I'm recording. Other times he demands to be let in at different points. He hates a closed door. Anyway, if you go subscribe to my Substack today and look in the archive for my New Moon in Taurus newsletter, then you might find an early access link to start booking with me already. But if not, then you'll begin to be able to start booking with me on May 1st, on Thursday. I've done a little bit of adjusting to my offerings. I will not be offering recorded video readings anymore. That is the biggest thing for me. Those are just really hard for me to fit into my day-to-day. So I am now, instead of doing recorded video readings though, because recorded video readings were pre-recorded readings up to 10 cards, I have a new written offering of 10 cards plus 2 oracle cards that will be written and emailed within 2 weeks of purchase, just like my other 2 written offerings. So, and then there's the live one-on-one readings over Zoom that are still available as well. But those are the changes. Those are the updates. And also, as always, because it's coming up on every equinox and solstice, I say it's coming up, the summer solstice is still like 2 months away. Members of the Supreme tier on my Patreon get a free 4-card reading. So if you are interested in, learning more about witchcraft and tarot and learning more about like my personal practice and what I do in my day-to-day as a witch and getting some like bonus content here and there, I just uploaded this past week for the Coven tier members. That's the $22 tier. I just uploaded a pre-recorded class about pop culture and witchcraft. So that is available on the Patreon for $22 members and up. So there's just lots of good stuff over there. There's meditations, there's spells, there's a whole virtual grimoire you can go through to find different spells for your needs. The Patreon's poppin'. We just had our April hangout yesterday. So the not the familiar tier, the spirit tier, the $11 tier and up. We do a monthly like Q&A / hang sesh. I started calling it a Q&A, but usually we all just kind of get on and like chat with each other, which is so fun. So if you want to make friends, witchy community, then like come join the Patreon. This has kind of been rambly, but we're having a great time. And the Discord is also popping off, which you get to be in the Discord if you're on the Patreon at the Insight tier, or not the Insight tier. I just renamed all my tiers and I keep misspeaking. But if you join the familiar tier, which is $8 a month, or any of the other tiers after that, then you get to join the Discord and we have a blast over there. So anyway, now that I've been rambling and making absolutely no sense, let's get to the tarot. If this is your first time, first of all, thank you for sitting through that whole little situation that I just, spat it off. We always begin by taking a few moments together to breathe and do what's called casting a circle or setting container. Just a little moment for mindfulness to help us come into this moment, to be together, to be present and ready to receive. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes. If that doesn't feel safe or good right now, then you could just let your gaze settle down at your cheeks or land somewhere else out in space. And just wherever you land, take a couple of breaths. Feel your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. And just become aware of wherever your feet or your body is connecting with the ground. Whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, your back lying down on a bed or a couch. Really feel into that connection, into the weight of your body being supported by gravity. Knowing that you are here, that you are present, and that you are held. And here I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, and as I name them, I invite you to imagine their force, their essence, creating an additional circle of protection around you. You might see stones or plants or trees rising up from the ground in a circle. You might see a ring of fire igniting. Maybe the ground opens and fills with water. Maybe sunlight streams down, enveloping you in a perfect circle of warmth. Whatever you see is right and good, even if it's something completely different or a combination of multiple things. Allow it to surround you, to hold you, to protect you. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north of Earth, the deepest roots and the tallest trees, the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones, hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change, hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, the life-giving sun, and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal, hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears, hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Cool. Let's read some cards. So it's such a weird, spooky day outside here for me. It's like going back and forth between the sun shining and the clouds coming in and rain pitter-pattering. Apparently there's supposed to be some major tornado action out in the world later this week. Just scary. Tornadoes are not fun if you're not from the Midwest. I don't recommend coming here. Wow, that was a big group. Okay, interesting so far. We've got just wands. This is a big group that came out together. I'm gonna set it aside and maybe. But so far we have the 10 of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the 8 of Wands. So this is very momentous energy. And with the new moon today in Taurus, it's interesting to have all this fire show up because it's a very earthy moon moment. But it is an incredible moment for getting things started. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, Judgment, and the King of Pentacles here too. Okay, there's that groundedness. Yeah, energetically, astrologically, it is a really great day, time. If you're seeing this on Monday, still the energy kind of persists. To think about what you really want to start growing. Similar to in the physical world, in the real world, we are planting things, right? It's springtime. People are getting gardens going. Knight of Swords. Sorry. People are getting gardens going. We're starting to literally plant seeds to literally grow things. And we can do that with our spirit, with our magic, with our minds as well. Okay, so the coins have started showing up just as much as this deck is really talkative today. It usually does not spit out that much. The coins are showing up just as much as the wands, a little bit more so. Let me see what we have here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna stop here and then I might go to that other group that came out. So, as I was kind of talking about, 10 of Wands, Page of Wands, 8 of Wands. This energy is very much finding your pace, finding your routine and the sustainable ways in which you can fertilize and cultivate and expand and work into your passions, your creativity, your momentum. That's what this is really for. This is really figuring out, sitting down and really thinking about the ways in which you can start to build routine and, again, like longevity and persistence and expansion in the realm of your creativity. And I talk about this all the time. When we talk about creativity, we're not just saying like you have to go paint something, it's, our human creativity shows up in every choice we make and everything we do. Sorry, my table has different pieces that move. It jumps at me sometimes. The things in which you want to build, the things that you do want to build. And if you've been feeling a little stagnant or having trouble like keeping motivation going, that's what this week is for, is really like ironing out the ways in which you can find that sustainability and that full expression and that healthy extension of power and momentum, so that you can then really burst forth into what you want to create next, so that you can fully absorb and hear and interact with the messages, the possibilities, the opportunities that then present themselves. This week we're ironing out the details, getting into our routines, finding the ways that we need to continue to feed our fire so that it's like a gentle ongoing blaze rather than something that burns hot and fast and is gone immediately. I'm so sorry to bring up a fantasy book, but especially one by Sarah J. Maas, who's extremely problematic, but there is a scene in the series Throne of Glass where the main character is learning how to control her fire magic, which is like huge and big and like really intense. And she is tasked with keeping the fires going at essentially their Beltane celebration, which is hilarious. Because same, so definitely relevant. And she is just focusing on the fires, keeping them burning, and her teacher is, telling her to like, stay aware, make sure you're staying present in your body, like if you like, whatever. But she doesn't listen. She's just like, oh, this is easy. This is easy. This is nothing. I'm just staying here, staring at fire. But before she knows it, the fires start to burn out of control, and she starts to burn from the inside, and it becomes very, very hot. She's about to burn herself out because she wasn't intentional and listening to her body and her needs as she was working. She was just like, well, this is boring. This is mundane. This is like nothing to me. I can create walls of fire and like burn entire cities to the ground. This is nothing. But it's those little things that if we're not paying attention can really build up and end up burning us out. So keeping our awareness and our focus on everything, even the little things, to see what feeds our fire and what starts to make it burn out of control when we don't have the awareness to pull away and to rest. That is what this is. This is what we're figuring out. Figuring out how to keep yourself fueled, but not forced. Does that make sense? And then once you have the stability in place, being able to open up and see the different ways that you can start to move and expand and go and grow into what is next. And then with that, we have the 9 of Coins, Judgment. I love when Judgment shows up. I also just really love this Judgment card. This is the Elemental Power Tarot by Melinda Holm, and it's one of my favorite decks. So, 9 of Coins, Judgment, King of Coins. The 9 of Coins presents this opportunity to express gratitude. I mean, it's kind of this whole thing that we just stopped talking about, the stability of momentum to figure out how to move forward, but also recognizing everything that you have gained and figuring out how you can then turn that into the roots of what you want to grow next. And part of that is acknowledging all of your actions, all of the things you have planted, even the things that did not grow, and figuring out why. And if you can't figure out why, acknowledging that it's best left behind. But in this process of exploring the passion and how to keep passion moving, and the reflecting and the gratitude and recognizing all you've created for yourself, there is the realization of becoming, of opening, of seeing what is possible and what can be created next if you decide to step out and potentially leave things behind that maybe it's not that they're no longer serving you, but it's that they no longer need you. And then, with the King of Coins, you are able to be fully rooted in your purpose and your awareness and move forward with the knowledge that every step you take is supported by the earth, by your past, by your knowledge, by your experience. And you fully have the power to grow whatever it is that you choose to dedicate yourself to. Now, that energy then becomes a little broken up because then, we have the Knight of Swords and then we have more coins. Like, Earth is like, hello, I am here. Taurus new moon, yes. Taurus season, yes. We're feeling it, it's happening. But this Knight of Swords is that reminder to balance, right? Between the grounded energy, the more internal, reclusive, maybe the more thoughtful and, thoughtful, but the more, physically aware energy, the more grounded energy, the more slow energy. Balancing that with that momentum that you have solidified with our other wands. And sorry, my partner's alarm clock is going off and I don't know if you can hear it. It's one of those things where sometimes this microphone will totally cut out sounds and sometimes it won't. So if you hear some random bells in the background, it's my partner's alarm clock. So apologies. But there is this balance, right, between momentum and pushing forward and keeping your feet firmly planted on the ground. You have to maintain your inspiration. You have to continue to seek out and search for and create your own truth, your own action in order to actually make things grow, right? It's just sitting and waiting for it to happen isn't going to make anything happen. It's just going to make you sit there. So, how can you infuse the intention and the passion into your grounded awareness of where you are and what you need? Okay, sorry. There's a weird cut here because my partner's alarm clock was just going off for ever. So I just went ahead and turned that off for him. It's Sunday. He can sleep in. That's fine. That's allowed. Anyway, let's get back to the cards. So, this momentum, this insight, this direction that we awaken to is going to be what helps us maintain and actually devote ourselves to the growth of what we want to create. So then we have the 8 of Coins, we have the Queen of Coins, and we have the 5 of Coins. We're going to get to that. But the 8 of Coins and the Queen of Coins, this is that dedication. This is that work and that cultivation and that care. We can't just decide we want to do something and then, find that idea, that initial idea. We have to be willing to really care for it. And again, find the ways in which we can build routine, build longevity and intention and continuous effort with bringing the thing into fruition. And particularly the Queen of Coins. This is going to be a lot of really being aware of your body and your, emotional state and being able to show yourself the same amount of care and dedication that you want to give to the thing that you're creating and the thing that you're building. Do not leave yourself behind in the journey of bringing something else into the world. Because then we get the 5 of Coins energy, right? There's no such thing as completely smooth sailing. There will be times when things feel a little off, things feel a little uncertain, when you feel like maybe you don't have everything you need, everything it will take, and maybe in this moment, in that moment when you're feeling that, you don't. But it's not about, or rather, it is about not giving up when things seem scarce, figuring out ways to get creative, strength, and turn what you don't have into an opportunity to manifest something new. Turning to the strength of your spirit and the resilience of your heart to help get you through moments of difficulty and moments of unknown and moments where it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. Then we come to the Seven of Cups and Temperance. These are both opportunities to turn that uncertainty, that self-doubt, that overwhelm, maybe, if you have an abundance of thoughts, of ideas, of insights, of inspirations, of options. Seeing how you can blend them rather than trying to cut yourself out of things that do speak to you, but maybe aren't the best option right now in this moment, or aren't the best option on their own. But when infused, when mixed, when melded, when interacting with other things, provide an opportunity for creation. Temperance wants you to explore possibility, to explore creating with what you have, even if it seems like what you have is impossible to work together. How can you make it? Yeah. Let's look at those cards that came out that I set aside. Yeah. 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 The Magician. The Four of Wands. We're coming back to that idea of stable motivation, stable creativity, figuring out those routines, figuring out those ways in which you can keep your fire alive. And the Magician being like, yeah, just create it. Yeah, just do it. And have fun while you do it. Search for the ways in which you can elevate your experience and not just worry about the process. And then the Hierophant and the Six of Swords. Sometimes the best ways to fuel your ideas is to turn to the past. And don't be afraid to ask for guidance along your path of creation. You might have to separate yourself from ideas of taking care of it all on your own, or ideas of how you thought it would go, or maybe you learn something new as you're moving through it. And you need to seek someone out to help you make sense of it. The Hierophant is also the card associated with Taurus, so this is very much like, yes, this is the new moon energy, and we love it. I love it. I hope you do too. Let's look at the bottom of the deck, just for kicks and giggles. Three of Swords. Now, not heartbreak. We're looking at this as three, collaboration, creation of air, mind, ideas, intellect. Trust your thoughts, trust your ideas, and follow them and figure out how to bring them into the physical world, into the things that you're building and you're working on. Your mind is your friend here, not your enemy. So if it starts to feel like your enemy, figure out how to turn those feelings into thoughts of creation and cultivation. Yeah. Cool. That's the reading. That's the cards. What a good one. I love this deck so much. And yeah, it was really talkative today. I used this one for my personal like daily pulls for months, a few months ago. And it never really wanted to give me more than 2 at a time. And I will use it with clients sometimes. And it usually like we have to do a few rounds of shuffling, reading, shuffling, and it just is whatever. But today it was like, hello, I have much to say. And we'll take it. Okay. Let's close our circle and then like go about our lives. So once again, you can join me in closing your eyes if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths. Reimagine that elemental circle of protection that you put up around yourself. Take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your breath release that circle. Sending water, stones, plants sinking back into the earth, dissipating sunbeams, extinguishing fire, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Amazing. Cool, friends. Well, that is it for today, for this week. Everything I talked about at the beginning of the episode is in the description. Yeah, come join the Patreon. Like, why not? It's so fun. You can join for free and just like get my newsletter. That's totally fine. But all the fun stuff happens at $8 a month and beyond. Come join the Beltane Spell Circle. It's gonna be a blast and a half. And then just stay tuned because the summer is always full of good, fun, witchy stuff. So I hope to see you there. I hope to see you sometime this coming week if you're in any of my classes. And if not, I will see you next time.